From the Schmoes No Network Studios in Los Angeles, California, it's time for Guilty Movie Pleasures. And now, here are your hosts, two of the guiltiest cats I know, Josh McCouga and Steve Simone.
What's up,
Schmoville?
How we doing, buddy?
I'm so excited that there's finally a movie that I know that is awesome. It has karate, breakdancing, and a real hot chick.
I mean,
she's the 11th element, this broad.
Today, coming in hot, we are doing The Last Dragon.
One of my all-time favorites.
Again, I had never seen before.
What did you think? First impression.
It's perfect.
Yeah, it's amazing, right?
It's amazing. Well, I'll tell you what. We have a special guest coming in to talk this movie, and he was the one that suggested that we do this. And we started watching it on an iPhone in a car coming back from Irvine. Ladies and gentlemen, Kristian Harloff.
What's up, buddy?
Big round of applause for the King of Schmoville. He leads the monarchy that is Schmoville. Kristian, welcome to the show.
Roger. What's going on, guys? And by the way, it is Barry Gordy's Last Dragon.
Barry Gordy's Last Dragon. I apologize.
Yeah.
We were talking before that you have to be the ultimate megalomaniac to put your name in front of a movie. Like, it's not.
I didn't realize he did that.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon. You know, like stupid Lee Daniels is the butler. John Carpenter's the thing. Fine. Those. You directed them. Congratulations. You produced it. Barry Gordy didn't direct this. He produced it. You have to be you have to love yourself so much to put your name in front of it.
Love yourself so much. That's usually a sign of extreme insecurity.
Yeah, sure.
But he's also a guy that, you know, it was his first foray into movie making as well.
He killed it.
He did, and it was the thing was he was known for music stuff. So now he was like, let's get into martial arts movies, and it's Barry Gordy Presents. And
so good.
It opens up with
like
a great
Tyler
song.
Perry's Medea's Family Reunion, correct? This movie starts out. So we're coming back, and it's like, you've never seen Last Dragon. So we were in an Uber coming back from Irvine, and we watched the first like 45 minutes together in silence, and just going
We're
like,
telling the cab driver, the guy just like, slow down.
slow down. Yeah, what are you doing?
Go around the block a couple times.
Horrible cab
What's
driver.
the rush?
Oh, he was an idiot. Just the
It's
worst.
like one of the extras in Last Dragon.
Yeah,
Dude, so many great extras.
Great
in this.
extras,
Oh
famous
my
extras.
god.
very, very famous extras. We start watching it, and you know, it opens with the ultimate like intersplicing of Bruce Lee and this sweet, very young, very. I mean, he looks like he should be on the Silky.
Who is this dude?
His name is Timac.
Yeah, and he was a martial artist. But the song Jete has the song back there, how it actually starts, and the music. The second you get into the music, and you see the montage of him chopping arrows.
Oh, it's so good.
That's not it. That is not the song. The one that's it.
That it. Oh,
Just
and
feel
he's
it.
and he's in that
So
the
good.
dojo. And listen, we all loved karate as a kid. Okay, my brother and I used to.
And now.
Literally, Simone's last tweet was, "If you know karate, why aren't you using it all the time?"
All the time. Like, if I knew karate, I would feel like a superhero. I'd be like, sir, you're being a little bit loud. I don't think the lady appreciates your tone.
Sir, no, you can take the next bus.
Yes.
Sir, I asked you kindly, leave
But
the
what did
lady
we
alone.
say? Like, I would be in my basement with my brother doing karate moves. Karate really doesn't seem that hard to do because you're just like punching and kicking and punching.
But to do it Last Dragon style, you remember at the beginning when he's chopping all the arrows
Yeah.
and he just snatches the blue one?
So good. And
It's so
that
good.
whole scene and with his master, with just the stereotypical master, and he's just basically he had some comedy to it too.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh no, you are not done yet." It's a laugh. It's so funny.
So good.
And it's the montage of him because doing the karate. It's perfect in the sense of this. If you were going to do karate as a kid and this dojo, these would be the things you would do. Like, this would be an idea that we would have. Like, yo, if I shoot an arrow at you, do you think you can stop it?
Right. And most people would be dead in like 5 minutes. Right?
Yeah,
right.
without a doubt.
But most people are not Bruce Leroy.
That's very, very true.
Oh, dude, it was so good.
Bruce Leroy. Everything about it. It just it captured the 80s so well.
Perfectly.
Glorious.
Well, here's the okay. So you
85.
have Barry Gordy presents The Last Dragon, right? So we get in. Obviously, the music's gonna be incredible because Barry Gordy is a legend in the recording business, and he's gonna put his songs in here and his artists, right?
Dude, that El DeBarge cameo that comes
Oh
up
my
in
God.
the first
In the club.
12
And
minutes.
by the way, it's not El DeBarge; it's just DeBarge.
I didn't know.
It's not a Mexican dish.
I thought it was all DeBarge too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, listen, I made out with a girl at Bar Lubitsch in in L.A. the first time to DeBarge. Rhythm of the Night.
El Bar Lubitsch.
El Bar.
And that's how I met your mother. Could you imagine your kids are playing this back 15 years from now? See, Dad?
Yeah.
So you get to this club, which is I mean, it's a Soul Train ripoff, really.
Oh yeah.
Because
that's where we meet the girl.
that's where we meet Vanity.
Right.
Oh, she's so hot.
Vanity,
1985's Halle Berry.
But hotter.
but hotter.
Hotter than Halle Berry.
I think
Dude,
so.
when she has that teased hair, she's up
dirtier.
there and she's like
Dirty sexy.
There's something
yes.
very sexy about her.
Well, first of all, Bruce Leroy is walking through New York.
Dressed in a kung fu getup.
with
Like Kung Fu. He's got the hat, the sandals.
So good. Well, we don't skip over the movie theater. Before we get to the club, he goes to the movie
Oh,
theater
yeah.
to watch the Enter the
Enter the
Dragon.
Dragon.
Oh, dude. That was such a good scene.
How about the two fat guys with the guy with the hat?
Sure. Tremendous.
the 1980s Miami football jersey.
He looked like one of like Hillbilly Jim's inbred cousins. Like,
Yeah, and then you got the transgender guy looking up and he's
Yeah,
like,
why
get
was
him,
that-
salad. Get him, baby.
and Bruce Leroy's sitting there eating popcorn with chopsticks.
Oh, it's so good. Bro, the first time you see SHO NUFF, okay, like, I don't think grown-ups, I know I'm going to get
Wait, can
blasted
I-
for this.
Go ahead.
But I don't think grown-ups should dress up for Halloween. I think Halloween should be for little kids, and grown-ups should make haunted houses and
Okay.
hand out candy.
Even parties drunk, you don't think so?
But, dude, if I were to dress up this year, if I could get a SHO NUFF costume,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
What did
When he
you-
kicks those doors open.
What did you say,
good.
What did you say, Steve? A what? JT? A what?
Oh, so good. Dude, it's so good.
SHO NUFF, it was so great because he shows up with that ridiculous hair, and this is right as because you know remember rap and all that really started to form in like 85,
Yeah.
84, 85. So it just started.
So the
to
street
happen.
look and everything like
yeah,
it.
everything. So I mean, he had like the Michael Jackson kind of jumpsuit on.
Yep.
But that whole scene,
Well, here's the thing:
you
is
learn about his gang.
at the beginning
Oh, yeah.
you think that he's in like a dojo in Japan. It's just a dock in Queens or in
Yeah.
Brooklyn, right? Because he comes walking through New York. So SHO NUFF shows up to this theater, and all of a sudden, already there's no development into this. Everybody knows who Bruce Leroy is.
He's,
And
he's a legend.
He's a
Yeah,
legend.
you know, it was
already.
great. It was very like Chekhov. They go like this. Because when SHO NUFF rolls up, and he wants
just
to
compare
fight.
this to
Yeah, because he
Chekhov?
goes like this. He goes, catching bullets in your teeth.
catches bullets in his teeth.
Oh, so good. Oh,
It's the art.
so
It's
good.
back and forth. And how about the intercutting of Enter the Dragon with the
With-
one guy who
with
finally
this.
steps on the radio because it's too loud
Yeah,
in the theater?
yeah.
So
Dude,
good.
the radios.
He's
So good.
He's eating, and he's just like smiling. That shit-eating grin that
Yeah.
that kid
Keeping
has
it
the
calm.
whole time. Like
Yeah.
I don't need this. Everybody starts getting in the fight and the thing, and Bruce Leroy just walks out. So he's like,
Yeah.
I don't need this.
don't need this.
Whatever.
He's
and
one
then,
at peace until he meets the woman.
yes.
Yep.
And
Well,
then we
if
get
that's
to
not a great metaphor.
we get to
You know what I mean? Like, everything's fine. He's one with the world.
and
And
a
sees
girl
a
comes
hot
in,
chick.
and he needs moves, which we'll get to. But so they go to this club, and listen. I think there's a few places that I want to go to in my life. One is the club that gets shot up in Scarface. Like I want to be in that club.
Okay.
right?
The Diaz brothers.
Yes, exactly.
Bells are on stage telling knock knock jokes.
If somebody were to ask me, and I've said this multiple times before, if I could go back in time to any one time, I would be a frat guy in the 1980s because I think that's when life was perfect, right? You could wear like pop collars. You could go to Miami clubs, like things like that, especially lights, fog, always on the dance floor. There's always some shady guy in the corner. Now clubs are like, it's not like the 80s, leather
No.
banquettes, whatever. But, you know, if you
You
watch.
have to hide the cocaine now.
Exactly, yeah. You want to, yeah. People didn't have to hide it back then. It was perfect. You go to this club, and she's just like up in what appears to be a spaceship running this club.
Yeah.
Right. And this is when we have my favorite cameo of the movie is William H. Macy is like a scumbaggy producer.
And
Awesome.
I had seen this movie so many different times, but when we watched it in the Uber, I said, "Wait, let's go back." That's exactly who I think that
Yeah, it
is.
was William H. Macy.
Yeah,
William
so
H.
good.
Macy in an Andre Agassi like
Yes.
Nike windbreaker,
And the
tremendous
best
outfit.
actor in the film, hands down.
hands down,
Yeah.
without a
Oh,
doubt.
dude, I think there was a lot of stellar. Oh, you mean best actor now?
No, in The Last Dragon, he's hands. Come
Dude,
on,
how about the
acting's
fat
not-
kid
That's the
sidekick that couldn't hop up the thing? The white chubby.
Oh yeah, he's
that
pretty
kid's
good. That is pretty good.
fantastic.
That kid- great hair.
The
too.
guy at
Oh,
the end
great hair.
that bites the nunchuck, fantastic. The
Yeah.
little kid brother, fantastic.
Right.
Well,
a lot of great performances. Yeah, SHO NUFF kills it. How did that guy not get a 10-picture deal after this?
No, he died like 2 years ago.
Did he really?
Yeah, two. A lot of it did. So did the little brother too.
His
The little brother was great in this. Richie?
Yeah, Richie.
The thing I loved about so much about the white kid sidekick was he you know, like there's always that white kid in the neighborhood in these movies, like the token white kid, and he always looks like a street hood.
Yes, and he was like a dollar store chunk.
Yes, no, he was a dollar. He was a dollar store chunk for sure. So they go to this club, and then they play an entire DeBarge music video during the thing, and that song is awesome. By
Tremendous.
The way. And DeBarge is the scariest looking human being in the movie, and he doesn't even appear in physical form. JT got a kick out of that one. He's got that greasy mustache with the Jerry curl.
That was hot in '85.
Oh, he's huge, and that song holds up. That is a great song.
Tremendous.
Yeah.
Little known fact: DeBarge was the basis of Coming to America, the lead character Solo.
Really?
No.
Oh. Dude, there was an urban legend in Philadelphia that DeBarge got stabbed in an after-hours club.
Is DeBarge from Philly?
No. They're like, he tried to step to my boy and he got shanked.
Yeah.
That's a true. I don't know if it's true, but it's a true
Rhythm of this night.
And Vanity, the character's name is Laura Charles, is a legend, right? In this in this club scene,
she gets songs and videos, and she gets artists.
She makes things happen, right? Yeah. And so JJ, played by William H. Macy, who's incredible, is begging her to get Eddie Arcadian's.
What a great name, by the way, for a villain.
He runs arcades, and his name is Eddie Arcadian.
He's so good in this.
He should have been Armenian, but no, he's just a bald white dude from Kew Gardens in Queens.
And he was like a dollar store Vincini from Princess Bride.
Correct.
Oh, interesting.
And we got a dollar version of Cyndi Lauper playing his so-called artist that he's trying to produce. So basically, this is like, I think Barry Gordy's Get Back at the White Community is like, oh, this sucks. The scumbag record producer, we're going to make him a white dude who's bald, right? Yeah. Who's trying to get Cyndi Lauper on the air. Laura Charles is too big. She doesn't bow down to anybody.
No, she's not going to put that filth on the air.
No way.
Yeah, Laura Charles.
Yeah, come on.
She's so good.
And then she does a complete musical performance. So the first 15 minutes of this movie, a solid 10 minutes of music. If you count the opening credits, we're at like 2 minutes of actual acting, all music.
But not only does she sings the name of the club.
Yeah.
Seventh Heaven. No heaven at your door with that really weird, creepy voice. It's so scary, but yet it's her doing it, so you're like, you can be as scary as you want.
Yeah. And Steve, you were saying, which was probably the funniest thing ever said on the show, was that you can't be a Fifth Element unless you have C cups from today.
Yeah.
My brother lost his mind when he heard
true,
that.
Though.
It's true.
Dude, this chick, Vanity's so much hotter than that girl. It's not even.
Oh, yeah.
Vanity is smoking.
Now, how high and drunk do you think she was during the filming of all this?
Oh, man.
Well, this was, so she got naked a bunch before this movie.
Was.
Dude, are you kidding me? Coked out of her mind.
Out of her mind.
How do you? I'm such a nerd. I can't even tell when people are on drugs.
Well, if you see her shot, I pulled up a picture of her at the end of the movie.
Just watch that video when she's singing.
Yeah,
you know?
Dude.
How do you tell though?
Ask her.
My favorite drug's pizza, so I don't know. I'm like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Say no to drugs. Say yes to pizza. Like you know what I mean. Like, I always feel like I always feel like I'm in an after-school special. Like if people just mention like real drugs, I'm like, I can't even. It's like that Growing Pains episode in Boner. Richard Stabone was going to get in the hot tub with Eddie, and they were going to do drugs. You remember that episode?
Yeah.
I can't. I don't even know.
Look, this is how you know. That was her screenshot at the end of the movie. Thanks for that use of the brightness, JTE, you jackwagon. I love you, buddy. Look at her face. If that's not coked out and a vampire, I don't know what that is.
Watch Action Jackson, which is another guilty movie pleasure. You'll see.
She literally does coke in that movie.
She actually is a drug addict in the movie.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but anyway,
thanks for that, JT.
She cleaned herself up.
Good for her.
For this. And so I want to know, because you remember the Cosby episode when Cockroach and Theo...
Speaking of Cosby, are you going to drop this?
Well, Keisha Naipulium is the daughter.
Good. Yeah. She was so cute as a little kid.
So cute.
And she's gorgeous now.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. She's smoking. She was in...
she was on that TV show Splash where they did the diving thing.
Yes, she was. That awful reality show. No, but she was also in a music video with Fabulous. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Schmelville. I just dropped it. That was awful. But so remember that episode of the Cosbys when Theo and Cockroach, they're supposed to do like a Soul Train spinoff as well, right? And not one of them, they can't both go in to meet the really hot girl. Like there's a dancing girl. If you are a fan, I don't remember the episode, the girl's name, but they are in love with this girl.
Is it Vanity?
No, it's not Vanity, but it's somebody just like Vanity. So each week on the show, she pops up and every guy in New York wants to meet this girl. Because basically what Vanity is doing really only exists in New York. It's not like an international thing. Right? She's not like a pop star internationally.
Yeah, it didn't have back in the day the way the internet was and everything too. Like,
it was all cable access show.
Right. So, but she's able to. But nonetheless, you would think because William H. Macy tells her, you don't want to mess with these people.
With Eddie Arcadian,
and
of
she's
course.
just being an asshole.
Yeah,
She's
really,
just, she
truly.
really is. She's like, just put this. No one's gonna care. Put the video on there.
Like she's
and let's
staking
be
her
over with it.
reputation
Do the right
by
thing.
putting, just do the right thing.
I was gonna let you order a la carte.
Yeah.
He says it multiple times.
And you know what I keep thinking to myself is like, when I was a kid, we would go to an a la carte like restaurant once a year, and my dad's like, it doesn't come with the meal, so you know, okay? Like, you don't get your 3 free sides like you get at Olive Garden. Or
Free sides.
you don't get the free, you got to order
No
the
dipping
sides
sauce.
here.
Right.
Not here, buddy. Extra.
No free potatoes, you got to order a la
Don't
carte.
fill up on the bread.
So listen,
They should now name that the Arcadian.
yes. Well, the whole time I'm thinking to myself is like, well, he makes sense. If you're going to go to the a la carte place, you're going to do it up big time.
Who's his Rocco, which is the best name.
No,
Dude,
Justin
from Dumb and Dumber.
From Dumb and Dumber, yeah. And we never see what's
Rock.
in that jacuzzi full of death. We never see an actual
Yeah.
fish or anything like that. And he puts Eddie Arcadian's head at one point in there, remember?
Yeah, and he's freaking out.
He's
yeah.
freaking
Oh,
out.
so
What
good.
I love about that scene too is that if basically after Bruce Leroy gets involved and starts protecting Vanity, he confronts Eddie Arcadian, sticks his head in that tank. But watch Bruce Leroy's face. Like, he is so confused as why this guy's freaking out. I'm just putting you in water, guy. Relax. And he pops up, and he's just so freaked out. It's the best.
I freaked out because this is the first time. Again, this is the first time I've seen this movie, right? So I'm thinking he's going to pop up, and Eddie Arcadian's face is going to get eaten off because as soon as you even put that chicken bone or whatever that thing was, it disappeared.
Right. Maybe he didn't like the smell.
Dude, it reminded me of that tree trunk Flash Gordon had to put his hand in.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Are you putting another picture? Oh, there we go.
it is.
That's
So
so
good.
good. So now basically the entire movie revolves
By
around...
this point, I just want to establish, though, we see him chopping arrows, Bruce Leroy. We establish that he's reached the last level his master can teach him.
Right.
His brother doesn't like him very much.
Everybody thinks he's a nerd.
Yes.
He's got no rap with chicks. He's shy.
Yeah.
He's just a sweet guy that wants to do the
You
right
love
thing.
him because
he's
he is
awesome.
you.
Yeah, he's
Just
if I
knows
knew
better
karate,
karate.
that's exactly. Steve Byrne once said that I was a superhero without any skills. He goes, "You have all the intentions of a superhero, but you can't save anybody." I'll save you with dick jokes.
So now he's...
And then we see him though. We see him do karate twice. They try to kidnap Vanity in the
he
van.
saves her.
Chaz Palminteri has a fantastic mustache.
Yeah.
Cameo.
Yeah.
And then all the other bad guys show up. He does karate on everybody. She falls in love with him.
Real quick though,
Immediately.
when in that scene with the limit, what I love about that is that's a classic movie where every henchman knows karate.
Yes.
Because at one point,
Great point.
he goes back and forth with another black dude, and the guy just kicks back into a stance, and you're like, "Oh, this shit's gonna go down." He's like, "No, Bruce Leroy takes care of it."
Yeah,
Oh,
and then
without
then she gets kidnapped.
Right.
And then Bruce Leroy finds out where she is. He does his detective work.
Right.
Mask.
And then shows up in a ninja costume and
Yeah.
does karate on everybody in
Yeah.
there. Then he sticks. So I'm just saying we have the establishment. We see SHO NUFF whip everybody's ass in the movie theater like a gentleman. Bruce Leroy walks out. He's like, I'm a man of peace, not of violence.
Right.
Now he falls in love at first sight. Michael Corleone, lightning bolt, going through the hills of Sicily.
Right.
Now she's in trouble. He saves her ass twice. Go up with the story.
And well, let's not forget also in that is that Shogun still wants a piece because he
Has to fight him.
visits him at the dojo.
Yes.
Comes into the dojo and actually kiss my Converse.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
That line, like that whole thing too. And then you have his one student, Bruce Leroy's student, who is just a coward.
Johnny Yu or
Johnny
whatever.
Yu running around.
And the use of the word Oriental still only used by maybe some people in Pittsburgh and Philadelphia
Oh,
and
please.
Johnny Yu in this movie. He's
Right,
like,
right.
everybody's scared of Orientals.
What?
Is it?
Yeah.
Are we?
Oh, so what I was going to say is
We're
you're a
scared
fan
of
of
black
MMA. This was pretty much, isn't that how, and I know this makes me sound like an
evolved from The
11-year-old.
Last Dragon.
But no, didn't it evolve from things like that where people would show up at dojos and be like, okay, you're the master, let's try it.
I think that I know that they had a whole bunch of just different styles in general, whose style was better, and they would challenge one another.
Yeah,
stuff
and
like
isn't that like a thing still in martial arts schools where it's like somebody will show up and challenge your master and stuff?
Maybe
I believe everything I'm told, by the way. Everything.
We could just
Still,
say
I've
it.
never said Bloody Mary 3 times in front of a mirror at midnight. Never, just in case.
I know I wouldn't do that.
Never
either.
do it.
No.
No,
But it's a great scene where he shows up and he starts to beat up his students, but
Yeah.
in order to avoid the fight,
And
he
save
bows
Johnny
down
Yu. Yeah,
and save Johnny
he's
Yu.
gonna snap his
And
neck.
that guy Beast does have him in a nice rear naked choke.
Yes, he does. Yeah, Beast is
Pretty
pretty
legit.
Yeah, pretty
Well,
legit.
here's the thing: is Shogun's crew costuming is incredible.
Yeah.
But
Women-
they're
the women, though?
not the best. But she did have big cans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fifth Element.
a
Already
great
better than the
movie.
Fifth Element. Already better than her. They can legit fight. Whereas, I mean, Bruce Leroy's guys, we only see Johnny fight. We don't know, but we will know.
Oh, we will.
Oh, we will get.
We will, Schmoville. We will.
Here's the crazy thing: is that this whole fight is based around the fact that nobody says no to Eddie Arcadian, and he wants to get a video played. The stakes are not very high. But
he gets embarrassed.
He gets embarrassed
when all of his guys get beat up in his own house, and his head gets put in the lobster tank.
To be fair, he was gonna let her have a la carte.
Yeah,
I was gonna let you.
So guys, the stakes are higher a la carte, if you ask me, for sure.
Come on, Rocco.
Come on. Great. And the guys come in, they're like, there must have been 50 of them, right?
Oh, that was so funny.
Because nobody messes with Bruce Leroy at this point. Right. All the while, he's still trying to find the master to get to this like glow.
Right. Yes.
He needs to know the glow, whatever.
It's very much like Kung Fu Panda in this regard.
Yeah. Yes. He now Shogun is shown up, so he's showing up. He's shown up. JT
fell asleep.
Pop sleeping.
He's putting up pictures now.
He only likes the shows that girls are on.
The best is when you said JT. All I saw was this sudden movement.
Yeah.
10 minutes later.
Thanks, buddy. You're crushing it. I'm loving you. You are just crushing
Regular Fred Norris.
Yeah.
He makes that show, by the way.
He does.
Fred makes the Stern show.
So he goes back to see his old master. Like, he goes to this Chinese place. They're like, the master's not here. You can't come in here.
Yeah, the fortune cookie factory. The wisest man is the guy that supposedly writes the fortunes for the fortune cookies.
Exactly.
The last guy.
Papa what was his name?
I forget.
It was like he just kept calling him the master.
No, it's Papa.
It's in there.
Papa something.
Because he gives him the medallion that he drops, and Vanity finds it. Then he goes to Vanity's house.
That's how he gets the Vanity. Yada, yada, yada. The little brother's in love with Vanity. He needs to learn moves. He
goes to the fortune cookie factory.
Go to the fortune cookie factory.
Just move your pizza to Daddy Green's Pizza.
Yeah,
so good, dude.
Yeah. Move your pizza to Daddy Green's a pizza. Well, but then Shogun trashes the pizza parlor.
Yeah,
so now the stakes are real high.
Right.
I mean,
and
that's
beats
a lot
up
of
his
damage.
little brother, smashes the pizza parlor. He's trying to get him to fight because everybody in Harlem knows Bruce Leroy could kick his ass.
Yes, but Bruce Leroy isn't to that level yet. He needs to find
He doesn't
his master.
believe he can.
Right.
No. Right. So he goes back to his old master, and his master's like, he takes the thing out of the fortune cookie, and he's like, you look inside. He's like, there's nothing here. The good insert shot of the crumbling fortune cookie.
All that stuff leading up to that is like, because Vanity wants to do something special for Bruce Lee. She takes him to the club and shows him a montage of Bruce Lee on the screen, and he's so happy. And then like, he gets an idea, and then he's like, "Of course, why didn't I not think of this before?"
JT
I'm good at disguise.
JT.
Oh yeah.
I love movie montages, like I've done for the channel, and I love that one scene. I'll watch that over and over. It's like Rocky 4 when that montage when he's in the car.
Yeah.
I just love good montage in a movie.
It's a good one, and that's when he thinks he's like, "Why didn't I think of it? Thank you." And she leaves, and she looks over, and she goes,
After they made out,
Bruce, and then there's just a shot of Bruce Lee with the hands glowing.
Yeah, because she's trying to make out with him multiple times. He shows up at her house, and she's like, "You look like a master to me."
Yep. Will you teach me some moves?
Yeah. Yeah. So then he goes to his old master's place. Well, he dresses up to be like somebody else to get into the master's place.
Right.
And
the guys like Bruce Lee did in that movie.
That was his big idea.
Right.
Right.
And he goes there and is stereotypically awful at like he's trying to be an Asian guy.
Yeah.
He's like speaking in their like chopped tones. And did you notice that?
No, I thought he was trying to act like he was cool because the Asian guys were trying to act like they were cool. Remember when he shows up the first?
When he first shows up, he's like, "What's up, my man? What it look like?"
And then he tries it again with a deeper voice.
Yeah. Then hey, my man, what it look like? That's what he says.
So
in the
good, dude.
He
shows up with a pizza with bean sprouts.
Yeah. Because he figures Asians like bean sprouts.
And then they want to gamble because they know he's a sucker, but then he gets him to do hopscotch.
Yeah, he's genius.
So great.
Because he gets them all hammered.
Yeah.
So
and the guy's smoking grass.
Some weed,
yeah.
Some herb, drink
Those
some
guys
wine.
were really funny, by the way.
They were
great.
They nailed it.
Awesome. So then he goes to his master's. The best line maybe of my favorite thing in the movie is when the master's like, "Are you leaving forever, master?" Like, "Nah, just going to visit my mom in Miami."
So great.
And leading up to that, even the end of that scene at the fortune cookie, that was the first time you really see the Bruce Leroy rage.
Yeah, because he kicks that door open, bro.
He's so upset at the end. Where is the master? And you're like, whoa, who's that guy? Where's he been? Yeah.
He's pissed. So now we're gonna get to like the we didn't talk about the auditioning of bodyguards.
Oh, and such a great scene.
The guy who's barking, he's a dog. He's a dog.
He wants double.
Yeah, he wants double. Like, why would we give you double? And he doesn't say any words.
Make sure to take the table out of that door.
Yeah. I can't hear that.
Eddie Arcadian's line.
Dude, it was like an audition of Dick Tracy villains.
Yes.
It has that shadow shot of the guy like this,
yeah.
the arsonist. He's like, it's so great. And then there's so many cool looking bad guys because he wants blood. Arcadian wants blood.
And here's the cool thing is like back then, gangs in the 80s, like the harder you dressed, the harder you were.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, and it's like in Crocodile Dundee 2 when he goes to meet that gang and everybody's like real cool dressed and that's like their thing, right? These guys dress badass because they are badass. And I mean, what is the barking dog guy going to do outside of being a bodyguard? Nothing. He can't do anything. Right?
He does
That's
what
all he
can do.
needs to do.
That's his calling.
It's just everything about it to where it's set up because the tone shifts all over the place. In this
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
In a great way. So where you can get like that old school kind of kung fu feel at moments, and you get the 80s, what was going on in the hip kind of back, and then you get the total cheesy comedy over the top stuff. It's all over the map, and I love it for it.
When they throw the little brother in the pizza parlor fight scene into the trash can, and then they pull him out, and he's just got spaghetti hanging all over him.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
And Richie is great as well too, because he's got a crush on Vanity. He's like, get your hands off my woman.
Yeah,
I said, get your hands off my woman. Like,
all it's so good.
And then they get the kid, and then I mean, okay, he sees the brother making out with Vanity, so he's not really too.
Well, Richie sees Bruce Leroy doing it.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. And let's be honest, 10 minutes before that, Bruce Leroy was taking advice from Richie.
Right.
Do you remember that?
On getting moves.
Yeah. He was like, what do you mean moves?
Yeah.
And paintbrushes. And then he has that heart-to-heart with Vanity in her car. I have a friend.
Yeah.
It's not me. So good.
You know, Ellis has asked the girls like that in his car before.
I saw Ellis wearing that outfit with the little hat about 10 minutes ago walking on a date.
Oh, it was so good.
I have a friend.
So now it's all leading up to the point where Eddie Arcadian's assembled his army of monsters to take out Bruce Leroy. And there's one piece he has to go recruit. And he shows up with a suitcase filled with cash to go get SHO NUFF.
And thank you, JTE. Perfectly done. And and you forget he's wearing a beautiful toupee. He's got the toupee on, and Rock everywhere he goes. Rock is sure to follow.
Yeah, and the stage has to be set at Seventh Heaven, of course.
Of course. Right. And they finally get the video played on there, right?
Yep.
They bring him
in front of no one,
in front of nobody. Right. But now Eddie Arcadian has lost his mind.
It's principle. He lost his chick. She leaves.
Right. Cyndi Lauper leaves, and she gives some help. She
goes to let them know what's going to happen.
She lets Bruce Leroy. Well, and Johnny Yu. She lets and Johnny Yu kind of gives her some love too.
Yeah, Johnny Yu's hitting on her.
Yeah. What do you want, JT? Tell me.
Forgot one point. SHO NUFF did not take the money.
He didn't take the money. He goes, just
keep it. Just get that sucker where he needs to be.
Yeah,
nice,
exactly. He just wanted
well
to fight
done, JT. Coming in hot. So it's all leading up to this awesome fight scene at Seventh Heaven.
All of it, from the gang fight to the last fight.
Everything.
Yeah, that last 20 minutes is beautiful.
That's why you watch the movie.
Yeah.
Again, a poor kid's version of Short Round. We got the little kid.
Well,
who's
that little
ninja.
kid actually turned it. He was in the Three Ninjas. He was the kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think his name is Ernie Reyes Jr.
Is he still fighting?
I don't know, but he's an actual martial artist, and he was also in some movie.
Yep, Ernie Reyes Jr.
You look at him up on IMDb because he did a movie. He did a movie with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat on like ABC.
Oh my god!
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. He's actually in an Indiana Jones.
But a stunt. He does a lot of.
Oh, that's the Crystal
too.
Skull. Never mind.
Rush
Hour 2 Rundown.
If you just go to actors, I want to know what he did with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. But he did a lot of stuff.
He's been in everything.
He's been in a lot. He was known for like martial arts. That's what he did. He and his dad for a long time. But his dad is actually who was in the
Surf Ninjas.
He's fighting. Steve, in that scene where he's fighting against that guy. It's him, the little Ernie Reyes Jr. Yeah. He's probably like 6 at the time, but he's fighting against his dad in the Last Dragon.
Oh, that's awesome! I didn't know that.
No shit, that's great.
Yeah, because what happens is Bruce Leroy's gathering weapons, and Johnny Yu's like, bro, I'm not going to let you fight by yourself. And he goes, well, get some weapons. He locks him in the weapons thing. Ernie Reyes Jr. lets him out. Now a posse's coming. Bruce Leroy shows up like a man.
Yeah.
He's whipping everybody's ass until he runs into this dude that looks like the one-man gang from old school 80s wrestling. Because the guy just bites his numchuck. He chews it up. And then it was like, oh, you want to do
crazy
karate?
The dog guy isn't in the main fight. You don't see him. He doesn't have like a good cameo.
He was peeing on a fire hydrant in the back.
Dude, and then his whole karate school comes and saves him.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
And the little
with
kid.
The music and everything.
Oh yeah, but the funny thing is the big fat guy only had one move. It was the Lex Luger body slam. He just kept
that move was devastating. He was messing up Bruce Leroy until the cavalry came.
And some of these guys, just the Eddie Arcadian's gang, just went out like bitches. Like you had, like there was one guy who got his pants pulled down. And kicked it. It was just
there was some very Three Stooges elements to some of the fight scenes. Like even in the pizza shop when the mom's just throwing dough at the guys. So great.
But what is not Three Stooges is that final fight.
Dude,
oh, you know it's coming too.
I was saying that's what Scott Pilgrim versus the World wanted to be. That they took that because that fight scene is perfect.
Yeah, it's awesome.
The when you get hit and the red thing pops up from Shogun, because he's taking him now. This is like video game fight. Like Bruce Leroy.
Well, dude, it was because first he's got to take out Beast.
Yeah,
and Beast puts up a good fight.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking in my brain, he already fought all these guys. He fought Beast. And I'm literally thinking this. I go, well, maybe he's just getting warmed up. And then, boom, the door opens up and it's SHO NUFF. And he's like, you warm? He's like, are you warmed up yet? And you know it's on. And then he does karate and it's not working. Bruce Leroy's karate's not working.
It's not.
He's hurt.
And then it works. Because then SHO NUFF starts to glow.
Yeah.
And then Bruce Leroy looks defeated. He's like, how does this guy have it?
Yes.
And then he's just getting his ass kicked from here to Detroit.
But just his hands are glowing. Keep that in mind.
Right. And he gets tossed into that trash can. Keep that in mind. His hands will be glowing. Yeah. He gets tossed in that trash can, and now now Shogun, he's got the upper hand. He really owns it. And then... Do you want to? Because this is your moment.
But this is the best because he's been searching the whole movie to find out who the master is. He's like, "There's more for me to learn."
Yeah.
And even his teacher's like, "Bro, you got there's no fortune in the cookie. Everything you got's inside you.
Yes.
I can't tell you." And then he has that planes, trains, and automobiles moment, like when Steve Martin realizes John Candy's all alone in the world, and it all flashes back because SHO NUFF's hands are glowing, and he's dunking them in the water, like, say, who's the master? Right?
And he won't say it.
He won't say it. He won't say it.
Never.
And he keeps on dunking his head, and then he's playing everything, the whole movie over in his head, and he's like, wait a second, who's the master? I am. It's so good. Do it.
And when he says I am, but it's just that look in his eye because he pops up the first time. He goes,
this is only good acting in the movie.
Shit-eating grin on his face. And he's just like, I am. But then he goes, who's the best? He throws a punch at him. He goes, I.
Oh, that was the best part.
So good.
And then his whole body starts to glow. It's not just his hands. Yeah. He's got the golden glow over his whole body.
Yeah, but it's actually the first song again that plays. He's like, you are the last dragon.
Hit it for us, JT. Hit it for us. This song's great, though.
This is the one that he sees in the club.
Yeah.
JT's music cues.
And so Shogun's is a red, and then, dude, Bruce
Yes. I need to work out.
Just let this roll, JT. Just let it roll for a little bit.
This is actually the part of the song when he catches it. Yeah.
And his fireworks when he hits somebody is like that pure white, and he just
his whole body, and then when his arms start to go like this.
Oh, you can't touch. He's untouchable now.
He just destroys Shogun, absolutely wrecks him, and then Eddie Arcadian comes
because it's like the final boss in Kung Fu. He's a big fat guy, right? Like you when you get to the big fat guy, whatever. But Eddie Arcadian's like, you know what, dude? I'm like Indiana Jones when the dude does all the sword things. Like, but I got a gun. Boom, shoots him
right in the face.
Right in the face. And you think it's gonna be
Vanity loses it.
Yeah,
brother's pissed off.
Everybody, and then pops up, bullet in the teeth, spits it. Eddie Arcadian loses his mind.
Yeah. Catches bullets in his teeth.
So good, bro.
I keep
foreshadowing. It pays off.
Yeah. And the only other great bullet catch scene in movie history in the teeth is Ace Ventura, obviously.
Yeah.
And
so good.
And so then he gets the end, and she's up there in her little like spaceshipy thing, and the club's back, and everybody's in white now because we've all won. And the brother's psyched, he's loving it, and he's trying to say, I don't know what he's saying. Do you know what he's saying? I didn't know what he was saying.
Can you teach me some moves?
Yeah. And then the club goes silent. Everybody laughs when he's carrying flowers.
Yeah, I love how everyone laughs too. It's like such like a canned laugh.
The best. Roll credits.
I have a question about catches bullets in his teeth, though.
Go ahead.
So this story that we're watching for this last hour and a half is about Bruce Leroy finding the glow.
Yes.
How badass is Bruce Leroy that before he had the glow, he was catching bullets in his teeth? Because people were talking about that already.
He didn't need the glow to catch it.
No, he was already doing that. He didn't need the glow to catch bullets in his teeth. That was just like a parlor trick.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
amazing.
amazing.
At like parties.
Yeah.
See, I thought that was just an expression. They were like, he's so tough, he could catch bullets in his teeth. And then when he finally gets the glow, he really does catch. That's how I interpret it.
I think he was doing it at birthday parties.
The one thing I will say, I think my favorite element to this entire show is just the hand clapping. like when they're listening to music, everybody, like, I forgot people used to do this to music.
Yeah.
And then even like when all the bad guys are around watching the knockoff Cyndi Lauper video, like even the tough guys.
There's a lot
So
of
good.
Any movie like this, a real guilty movie pleasure when you're watching it, you can find humor and entertainment in the extras, in everything.
The little
production,
nuances.
everything.
When the
like
little
that.
brother breakdances out of the rope.
Oh yeah, that was JT's favorite part.
Yeah.
Dude, it was so good.
JT, you
Yeah,
love that
I
one?
always just wanted to, escape that way.
Well, we can make it happen on a Thursday show.
All right.
Like as soon as they walk away, he just like spits the gag out. He's like, this doesn't matter, right? And then he boom, boom, boom. Because now you're thinking, listen, breakdancing looks good on the street, but it doesn't have a practical use per se. But now it does.
They actually based the whole fifth Indiana Jones movie on that scene.
Dude, breakdancing, karate, and vanity. This movie's a home run.
Could have been the name of the movie. Yeah.
It's like live, die, repeat. What is Vanity up there in like your top 5 women?
Oh,
in
after
film?
this, dude, she's the hottest chick I've ever seen.
She's just one of the. She was back then. She was one of the sexiest women for sure. Like you were watching that movie as a kid, saying, "I shouldn't be feeling like this at this age."
Dude, I knew she was hot then, but now as a grown up, it's like, oh my god.
And I got a Mr. Skin account to see all of her.
I don't know. I don't want to
nudity.
disrespect her by looking.
It's really
she's
worth
so
your time.
hot.
What's your dad think about this movie?
Hey, buddy, what do you think of her, huh? Thumbs up.
Well,
Dude, this is a
can
true
you do
story.
your-
I'll just go to tell you a true story.
Go.
My dad heard me once, like when I was like wanting to do stand-up comedy. I wanted to do a joke about like how hot Alyssa Milano was, and then my dad heard me.
Like practicing?
Yeah, well, like I don't even want to go into the details, but my dad comes home from the Blockbuster with videos. That was his big thing. Because he would come home from Blockbuster like he directed the movie, produced the movie, starred in it.
What did he get the Japan workout?
Yeah, he would take, and this is a picture I got for your mother. You guys don't have to watch it. Here's one the whole family can enjoy. And hey, buddy, I got you a little something you might want to watch. When everybody else goes to sleep. I go, what? He goes, I got Alyssa Milano. He's like, you can watch that after me and your mother conk out, if you know what I mean. I was just like, I wanted to jump out of a window like the priest at the end of The Exorcist. I was so uncomfortable.
Oh, so good.
there isn't anything
But
more.
you watched the movie, right?
Yeah, of course. It was like Poison Ivy, too.
Yeah,
Oh, that's a
she's
good
awesome.
one.
In
That's a
that there isn't anything more uncomfortable than watching a sex scene with your parents.
Nothing.
Like past age 65. Like you can't.
I don't understand how that could
Never.
ever not be uncomfortable.
Never. It's the worst, and especially if you go to like a theater, right? If you go to a theater and there's a sex scene in a movie with your parents, it's the worst thing that ever happened to you.
I'm just saying, Vanity's so hot in this that if you touched her left ass cheek with your tongue, it would just sizzle off. Like, do you remember those snakes, those terrible fireworks? And it was just a little nugget, and then it would turn into ash. That's what would happen to your tongue. Like if you made out with Vanity, your tongue would just turn to ash. And
Only a
drop
man
off.
with a glow, Steve. Only a
Unless you're
man with a
Bruce
glow.
Leroy. Yeah, that's
Unless
right.
you're-
That's
All right,
right.
here's a couple little known facts about Vanity. I don't want to burst your
hot.
bubble.
Wow.
Okay,
We're all
she was
human
originally
and
supposed to
flawed.
be the lead opposite Prince in Purple Rain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Turned her down. Prince was her actual band was called Vanity 6. She played in a band.
Did Prince discover her? He did,
Prince
right?
discovered her, yeah, in which she played a hooker. The original stage name of the band was supposed to be called Hookers, okay? And her Prince wanted her stage name to be Vagina, and so they settled on Vanity, which is good. She was at one point engaged to Nikki Sixx. She performed as a singer named Dee Dee Winters in Canada, Denise Matthews in Los Angeles, and Denise Sonic in Tokyo.
Wow.
Okay.
So
I
that's
like still named Denise.
now she's an evangelist and a
Oh, good for her. She turned it around.
yeah, she was really into Christianity, all that stuff now.
Good for
but
her.
man, in this movie, she is
Beautiful.
just knockout.
Yeah.
Dad Coogs would have loved her as well. I mean, my dad, your dad, I can't do. My dad doesn't have a voice like your dad. Your dad's is by far the most popular character on our program.
Thanks, buddies. I'm watching myself.
How would your dad kind of maybe not break, but get on him? How would you describe this movie to you?
Yeah, if he was to pitch it, if your dad
Okay.
was pitching the last draft.
Yeah.
Okay, because he would go through the Sunday paper back
Yeah.
before the internet. You choose movies with a newspaper. They'd
Sure.
be like, okay, let's see what kind of pictures are available. Babe, why don't you scrub up the boys? Get them ready for bed, and then maybe if they get their PJs on, we could take them to a theater like adults. Because sometimes we would do that. Because
In your PJs?
Yeah, because our
Okay.
parents, they would have to bribe us to get clean. We were like little monkeys.
Yeah.
And then he would just be like, karate, hot chicks. Good triumphs over evil. Get the boys in the car.
That's it. And Barry Gordy presents.
Hey, I'm a big Motown fan. If the film's is half as good as those tunes, I'm in. In it to win it. Slide me some skin.
JT, play us one more show enough before we go. Thank you.
Nice. So
Barry
good.
Gordy presents The Last Dragon. Christian, thanks for being on the show,
Yeah,
man.
Dude, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you again for introducing me to this movie. Again, like we've talked about each week, the beautiful part about the show is you and I are seeing movies that we I may have never seen
Dude,
before.
I always loved this, but it's been at least 20 years since I've seen it. And it's one of the few things in my life that I've gone back to revisit after a big gap, and it's even better than I remembered it.
It's perfect.
It's better than I remembered.
It made me want to learn karate, go to a black-owned pizza shop that looks incredible. With the greatest...
Movie pizza.
Dude, the greatest, probably the greatest marketing ploy in the history of pizza.
Great slogan.
Follow us on Twitter. Guys, go to iTunes, comment, like it, give us all the
Tell
stars.
your buddies.
Tell everybody, tweet it. Give us some comments on YouTube. We love hearing from you guys. Thank you as always for watching. Christian main show on Thursday. We'll be discussing the debacle that is currently the Schmodown.
There's going to be a lot going on for the Schmodown, so make sure you check it out.
Yes.
Roger.
And guys, my CD comes out. I think the link goes up tomorrow. So please buy that CD. It's called Remember This.
If you've never seen Steve Simone, you've never seen Steve Simone live, it's one of the most fun times you'll ever have. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.
From producers Kristian Harloff, Mark Ellis, and the entire Schmoes Know Network crew, we would like to thank you for listening to Guilty Movie Pleasures. What's your pleasure? Special thanks to Kevin Undergaro and Maria Menounos, the author of Every Girl's Guide to Diet and Fitness, in stores now. To watch or listen to other Guilty Pleasure movie episodes or other episodes of the Schmoes Know Network shows, get movie news, or to join the conversation, be sure to visit schmoesknow.com. I'm the Pit Boss, and this has been a presentation of the Schmoes Know Network.